This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, April 14, 2025. JLP expected to announce official results of internal selection in Western Westmoreland later on Monday. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the opposition PNP is to blame for halting country's republic plans. Police Federation accuses JFJ of undermining the JCF. In regional news, a state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago expired at midnight. In international news, European markets up as Trump suggests a Chinese tariff exemption might be short-lived. In sports, Portmore United beat Arnott Gardens 2-1 in Sunday's JPL game. And in business, China urges U.S. to completely cancel tariffs. The details after the break.
Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. Yeah. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stackerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Jamaica Labour Party has withheld the official results of Sunday's internal selection process in Western Westmoreland as the party completes its final count. Nationwide News understands that the results will be released on Monday evening. Our news centre was informed that the contest was closely fought by Councillor for the Sheffield Division, Dr. Garfield James, who is looking to unseat the sitting Member of Parliament, Moreland Wilson. Voting took place at two centres across the constituency, Little London High School and Grange Hill High School. Unofficial reports suggest that Councillor James may have emerged victorious over MP Wilson. However, the margin of victory remains unclear. Reports indicate that voter turnout was low, despite nearly 600 delegates being eligible to cast their ballots. Dr. James addressed the media following a celebratory gathering at Little London High School. While he refrained from declaring victory, he acknowledged the show of support and emphasized that he is awaiting the official announcement from the party.
Well, it was an exciting race. The party's process have been implemented. The respective supporters for each team came out and aggressively, but in a positive way, worked assiduously for their respective team. At the end of the day, the results, we are still awaiting the official results to be announced. But based on the preliminaries, we are looking good in terms of coming out on top. However, I want to make it clear that we are all members of the same team. Hence, at the end of the day, respect at the highest level must be given to each and every one, because at the end of the day, the party's interest is about self, and hence we are to come together in a way that will unite us to go to the bigger picture, which is to ensure that we can retain the constituency for the Jamaica Labour Party.
He also underscored the need for improved representation in the constituency and expressed a commitment to building on the foundation already laid if given the mandate.
At this point, we're not making promises. At this point, we'll ensure that we put forward to the constituency and the constituents in relation to us providing better or greater representation and to build on what has started and to ensure that we can work together. And we are not here to make promises, we are here to work and to ensure that we carry out the mandate of the government. So I have no doubt that we will come together in a short order to ensure that we put the energy behind one team with one objective.
Dr. Garfield James, counsellor for the Sheffield Division. Dr. James currently serves as the principal of Little London High School. He is one of 3 former People's National Party councillors who resigned from the party after a fallout with the PNP Vice President and current caretaker Ian Hales. James, along with the councillor for the Little London Division, Ian Miles, crossed the floor to join the GLP. In the 2020 general election, MP Wilson secured 6,148 votes, defeating then PNP candidate Wickham McNeil, who polled 5,095 votes. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has accepted that the goal of transforming Jamaica into a republic at this time has been dashed. The Prime Minister places the blame of the failure squarely at the feet of opposition leader Mark Golding.
You can't take what the PNP said because they only act in their convenience. So the dream of many Jamaicans of our country becoming a republic has been dashed at the altar of PNP selfishness. Primarily because they don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to be credited with making Jamaica the republic. They don't want that because they know that we would go down in the annals of history as a party that repatriated our sovereignty. They don't want that.
The Prime Minister delivered the rebuke while addressing a large crowd during the JLP's East Central St. Catherine constituency conference on Sunday. The PNP has boycotted all but the initial sitting of a joint select committee reviewing the Constitution Amendment Republic Act, which seeks to abolish the British monarch as Jamaica's head of state. Opposition leader Mark Golding cited the Prime Minister's unwillingness to answer questions regarding Jamaica's final appellate court as the reason for the boycott. Without the support of the opposition, any attempt to move forward is likely to end in failure. Dr. Holness accused Golding of going back on his word.
The leader of the opposition stood up in Parliament and he said, I support it. Yes, I believe we should move ahead forthwith because the support is on our side as well for Jamaica to become a republic. And I said, well, I have to take him at his word and put in place a process to move Jamaica towards becoming a republic. Only to hear after a long period of review and study and a report was prepared, only to hear that they changed their mind. They no longer want it. Now they say that they are going to tie it to the removal of the Privy Council, when that was never a part of the discussion. And we were very clear that these matters have to move in a process.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Dr. Holness says that through its actions, the PNP has shown it cannot place the needs of the country above its narrow political interests.
So something that is in your interest, because it doesn't suit their interests, they don't do it. So that brings me now to ask you, who really wants change in the country? Who really wants to see change for the better in this country? And who is the party that is bringing change to Jamaica? Who is the party that is tangibly, really changing the landscape of Jamaica? Which political organization is changing Jamaica for the better? Think about it. My thinking labor rights and my thinking Jamaican. Who is really making the changes in Jamaica?
The Prime Minister urged his supporters and Jamaicans at large to vote for the party he believes will best promote the needs of the country.
So yes, my Labourites, and yes, my Jamaicans, this election is about who will continue to change Jamaica for the better. Who will continue to build out the highways? Who will continue to build out the hospitals? Who will continue to build out the schools? Who will continue to build out the logistics hub? Who will continue to buy the new buses? Who will continue to buy the new garbage trucks? Who will continue to give the largest salary increases to public sector workers? Who will continue to build the houses? Who will continue to change Jamaica for the better?
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. The opposition PNP says it strongly condemns what it calls the glaring hypocrisy in the position taken by government parliamentarians on the appointment of Renifa Lawrence as Acting Director of Corruption Prosecution at the Integrity Commission. Lawrence has been described by PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell as a friend for more than 20 years. Last Friday, the leader of government business in the House, Edmund Bartlett, and the leader of government business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, wrote to the chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, to register their serious concern at Lawrence's appointment. But the PNP issued a statement on Sunday criticizing what they say amounts to a political witch hunt. The PNP says, given Jamaica's population, social and professional associations with persons who are active in national politics, those are inevitable. It says those commonplace connections are innocuous and are not, in and of themselves, indicators of political bias, nor do they disqualify anyone from public service. The PNP says there's no claim of misconduct or bias against Renifa Lawrence. Yet his appointment is being attacked because someone who attended his wedding is affiliated with the PNP. It pointed to the marriage of the minister in charge of water, Matthew Samuda, and a senior executive at the Jamaica Observer newspaper as evidence of the government's hypocrisy. It also mentioned the senior position occupied by a friend of the Prime Minister at the Housing Agency of Jamaica and at the Urban Development Corporation. The PNP also stated that the wife of the Prime Minister, quote, serves as Speaker of the House while presiding over matters related to the Integrity Commission, end quote. In the meantime, Government Senator Marlon Morgan is slamming criticism by the PNP of concerns regarding Renifa Lawrence's appointment as another example of the PNP's hypocrisy, deception, and conveniently changing principles.
The PNP's media release begins with a deceptive framing. It describes the PNP General Secretary and Acting Corruption Prosecution Director's close relationship as a past association. This is not so. Only this year, Campbell posted him being at the wedding of Lawrence, and he appeared to be a member of the Groom's Party, which is a role only reserved for very close friends and friends who are considered family. The PNP media release, which framed the position taken by the government parliamentary leaders as a witch hunt, further confirms the PNP and its leadership's unprincipled behavior and willingness to talk from both sides of their mouth.
Senator Morgan says the position taken by Bartlett and Johnson-Smith on behalf of government members is credible and should be supported by all well-thinking Jamaicans. The senator says the PNP media release confirms that the Mark Golding-led party will continue to take positions based on what is politically expedient at any given moment.
Only a few weeks ago, PNP President Mark Golding used the political platform to raise the issue of conflict of interest and urged the Governor General not to allow the appointment of anyone to a key and sensitive post to the Commission who is close to any member of the political fraternity. This is among the main points which the government's parliamentary leaders made in their correspondence. Yet the PNP had sought to criticize the position expressed. The media release confirms the PNP's hypocrisy and that Jamaicans cannot trust for a minute any position the PNP takes on important national issues because their stance may change at any given moment.
Senator Marlon Morgan. And a public commentator Carol Narcisse says it's difficult to expect that the holders of certain public offices will not have close relationships with persons active on the political front.
Given the size of Jamaica and the extent to which it is more likely than not that people will have gone to school together, varying levels, all the levels of schooling, and would have formed friendships, it is hardly likely that we are going to find people to staff the Integrity Commission who do not have friends in the public sector, who do not have friends in the political parties, who do not have friends amongst persons who are on public sector boards, and so on. If the nature of the space that we are operating in is that these friendships are likely to be part of what the person comes to the job with, then we are going to have to be using other yardsticks to measure whether this person is fit and proper and appropriate.
She says that there is nothing to suggest that Ranif Lawrence will be less than professional as he carries out his duties.
Is there anyone who is able to say that this individual has a history of professional misconduct, of a lack of professional integrity? I haven't heard it. The Integrity Commission's structure means that the information goes through a process of investigation, verification, corroboration, vetting of the quality of the information that is before them, before a file reaches a director of prosecutions. So that information, are we saying that because of one particular type of friendship and affiliation, that that person would set aside the information that has been brought in that file?
Carol Narcisse, a public commentator. Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean, has launched a blistering attack on human rights group Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ, accusing the organization of undermining the efforts of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Sergeant McBean criticized the JFJ for its upcoming End Police Violence protest, scheduled for April 29 at the Halfway Tree Transport Center in St. Andrew.
I would love for you to have the placard telling men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, thank you. I would love for you to have placard to speak to the family of police officers who have been gunned down by criminals. If you can't do that, I classify you as a true terrorist. If you can't do that, Jamaica for Justice, I classify you as a true terrorist. Dr. Kevin Blake and the men and women and leadership of this force has transformed the system.
The JFJ says the protest is being held in response to public concern about the increasing number of fatal police shootings. Over 90 civilians have reportedly been killed by police during alleged confrontations since the start of the year. According to Sergeant McBean, the JFJ has failed to recognize and commend the work being done by the police.
In 25 years, we have never seen a reduction at the end of February so low. 25 years. And for the past 20 years, we are considered a safer nation. But yet, you're looking at a few things without doing your research. I am going to send a message to Jamaica for Justice. Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Because if the problem comes to your doorway, you have to call Dr. Kevin Blake and the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to solve it.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation. She was addressing mourners at the funeral of the late Detective Corporal Garfield Letford, held on Saturday at the New Testament Church of God in Brownstown, St. Anne. Meanwhile, Sergeant McBean says criticizing from the sidelines is not helpful.
How dare you walk to the Jamaica Constabulary Force instead of partnering with us? Come and have a sit down with us. Show us your stats of community engagement where you go out there in communities and tell the criminals that we are going to have a Get the Guns campaign and hand over the guns to us, Jamaica for Justice. help us save lives. We want you to help us save the citizens' lives. You cannot be one-sided, and it's clear that there is no recognition for the stats from Indicom. You know why? Over 80% of all police shooting were justifiable. JFJ or whatever J you are. Let it be a joyous moment and go and get the facts.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, after nearly 16 weeks of heightened security measures across Trinidad and Tobago, the state of emergency has expired. The expiration took effect at midnight. The measure was declared on December 30, 2024, in response to a surge in violent crime and gang-related activity. On January 13, Parliament extended the emergency period for an additional 3 months. Trinidadian media report that hours before the measure ended, some 40 detainees are released from police custody. About a dozen others remain detained under these special regulations and are facing criminal charges. International European markets rose in early trading on Monday. The FTSE 100 is still in the green, with the UK index trading 1.8% higher. In Frankfurt, the German DAX is up 2.5%, and in Paris, the CAC 40 is 2.2% higher. The uptick comes as U.S. President Donald Trump suggests tariff exemptions for smartphones and other tech products from China could be short-lived. Writing on social media, the U.S. president says, quote, "Nobody's getting off the hook for unfair trade balances," end quote. The White House had announced the exclusion from steep reciprocal tariffs on Friday, creating some hope that the tech industry might escape the escalating conflict between the two nations. Beijing earlier called on Trump to completely cancel the import taxes, currently at 145%. The back and forth over tariffs last week caused major swings in global financial markets. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Jamaica! Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carrie Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General, 6,500, and VIP, 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jackama, reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
What makes a burrito bond so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers.
The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito bonds are burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a burrito advisor, and invest today.
Time now for your morning sports. Portmore United beat 10-man Arnott Gardens 2-1 in the Jamaica Premier League at Ferdinand Park on Sunday. Forward Cardell Benbow gave Portmore the lead in the 29th minute. Arnott's Warner Brown scored from the penalty spot to restore parity. However, Ronaldo Robinson scored in the 62nd minute to ensure Portmore came away with all 3 points. In other results, Malines United beat Dumbeholden 2-0. Harbourview and Cavalier drew 2-2. Tivoli beat 10-man Very United 2-1. And Waterhouse clipped Humber Lion 1-0. Coach of Cavalier, Everdeen Scarlett, says he was not surprised by his team's 11-2 whipping of Federal United in the Jamaica Women's Premier League at the Captain Horace Centre of Excellence on the weekend.
The Federal team is a fairly new team to the league, pretty young team as well, pretty inexperienced. So I thought the experience of my team got the better of them.
Chanel Spence scored 5 for Cavalier. Scarlett described her as a veteran of the league.
Spence is a fairly good player. I mean, she's a former national invitee. She's small in stature, but she has a big heart. She's aging, but she knows the game. She enjoys playing, and I mean, she's a handful for teams.
Everdeen Scarlett, Shady Shirley, Janelle Graham, and Deshauna Cole were the other scorers for Cavalier. In other results, Proven Girls beat UE Women 1-0. Wi-Fi United beat Real Mobe 2-0. Los Perfectos beat Malgally 2-1. And Arctic Gardens blanked Springer United 15-0. Bournemouth is looking to escape their worst stretch of the English Premier League season when Fulham visit the Vitality Stadium on Monday afternoon at 2. The Cherries haven't won in 6 Premier League matches, with 4 losses and just a pair of away draws at Spurs and West Ham. Fulham are clear of Bournemouth by 3 points, and their 8th place position has them within reach of the top 7. Meanwhile, Liverpool restored their 13-point lead atop the table, falling a 2-1 win over West Ham on Sunday.
Salah, here's Diaz! They make it look so ridiculously easy, but Salah marks his new contract with his 23rd assist of a remarkable season. Luis Diaz says thank you very much, and Liverpool have a deserved lead. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bowen arriving. Oh! West Ham have conjured an equaliser. Alexis McAllister. Van Dijk, he plays the captain's part, and on the brink of signing new terms, Virgil van Dijk leads Liverpool's second coming of the afternoon.
And Newcastle United strengthened their push for a Champions League spot in the absence of Onwell boss Eddie Howe with a crushing 4-1 win over Manchester United at St James Park. In other results, Chelsea and Ipswich Town drew 2-2 and Wolves beat Tottenham 4-2. Finally, in your morning sports, Jamaica Scorpions finished 5th in the regional 4-day championships after suffering a 5-wicket loss to combined campuses and colleges in their 7th and final match of the tournament. The Scorpions ended the tournament with 3 wins and 4 losses. Guyana Harpy Eagles retained the title. They were followed by Barbados Pride, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, and Leeward Islands Hurricanes. And that's it for your morning sports.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
In business this morning, the BBC is reporting that Chinese officials are calling on U.S. President Donald Trump to completely cancel his so-called reciprocal tariffs as a trade war between the world's two biggest economies grinds on. Trump has announced a 90-day pause on a host of global tariffs he had planned, but increased the levies on Chinese imports to 145%. China's Commerce Ministry has issued a statement urging the U.S. to take a big step to correct its mistakes. The Trump administration seemed ready to offer a concession on Friday by announcing that some electronic products, including those produced in China, would be exempt. But U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told ABC News on Sunday that such exemptions would only be temporary. He said the administration planned to impose such levies in a separate semiconductor tariff, which he said would be announced at a later date. A trial in the landmark antitrust case against social media giant Meta kicks off in Washington on Monday. The U.S. Competition and Consumer Watchdog alleges that Meta, which already owned Facebook, bought Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014 to eliminate competition, effectively giving itself a monopoly. According to BBC reports, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, reviewed and approved those acquisitions but committed to monitor the outcomes. If the FTC wins the case, it could force Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg to sell off both Instagram and WhatsApp. Meta previously said it was sure it would win, and experts have told the BBC it is likely to argue that Instagram users have had a better experience since it was taken over. Finally now, in foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average $158.53 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar will open trading today, selling for an average $113.40 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican will open trading this morning, selling for an average $207.94 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:31.
Switch to your JUTC Smart Fare Card by May 31, 2025. The temperature brought to you by JUTC Smart Fare Card, transforming your daily commute with smarter, easier, and more reliable travel is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Some dreamers picture a place they call home, a house with no mortgage, a home that they own. Some dream of owning their very own store, meet a cafe or florist, or growing one into more. Where one dreams of making luxury shopping the norm, others dream of sports cars, the kind that perform. But one thing in common these dreamers all need is to build their wealth so they can achieve.
Never settle for less than your dreams with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with a wealth advisor.
You ever get bun yet? The bun was sweet you so much you can't resist. Me not talk about heartbreak. Me not talk about the bun with full of spice, raisin, and the perfect glaze. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. This is the bun where everybody need this Easter. If you don't get bun, you not live life right. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. Get the best type of bun from the right people. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. The bun you have to get with love in every bite. Available in select supermarkets.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your laundry clean. Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I won't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. You're on a roll and now you pray you last. The road behind was rocky, but now you're feeling cocky. You look at me and you see your past. Is that the reason why you're running so fast? And she said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I won't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
What looks so far?
Another Monday. A very good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us. It is Monday, April 14, 2025. Happy to have you this morning. Good morning to all our YouTubers or peeps out there in Radioland joining us from the app or the website. Hello to you as well. Happy to have you. I'm Tawna Thomas.
Good morning, Tony. Good morning, listeners. My name is George.
Hey to you, George.
What up?
Jermaine forgot your camera.
Yeah, well, we look like somebody in our next parish.
You do look like you're in the next parish.
Yeah, over there at Portmore.
Yeah. You know, as we look to the little Easter break, I saw a video last evening on Instagram from a representative at Tasty demonstrating their new container.
With the cheese.
With the cheese. As you know,
Bad.
yearly people complain about cutting those tins.
Bad man.
What you saying, Jermaine? People complain about cutting those tins,
Yeah.
but now they have, I don't know if it's for the big one, but the small one, a pull-up cap.
Yeah, man. Bad man. Bad.
I'm saying, yeah, because it's such a struggle. I don't cut it, I would certainly cut off my fingers.
Yeah.
But I've seen people who cut my cheese struggling,
Come
the
on.
men struggling to cut it. So,
Almighty
Yay,
task.
tasty.
Yeah? One of the 12 tasks of Hercules. Yeah.
Yeah.
May I also say good morning to the people at Devon House Bakery. Tawna, you weren't here on Friday. Well, you run out. But, Tawna, Devon House people sent me, a lady from the office brought 2 boxes of patties. One with the barbecue pork patty, and the other one with the other one with the curry goat patty. Tawna then slap, as Marhiri would say. The patty them nice.
I agree.
So by the time me outside now, I was recording something for them, filming something for them, and the 2 boxes filled with patty were on the receptionist's desk. The whole of the harbour shot then just come from nowhere. By the time I go back in, not even a box to left.
Well, one was saved for me.
Yeah,
So
because I told Kimon, you need to,
yeah,
you know,
so I got one of the barbecue
angry and
pork.
fast. You never wicked.
It was amazing.
No, man, so Devon House Bakery, whatever you know doing, the person who make the patty, make sure them not resign, make sure nothing happen to them, protect that person at all cost. Yeah? No, I've tried the lobster patty already, King.
I've never had that one.
But
Is it
you want
good?
to the lobster patty now. I had the lobster patty like today, and then the Wednesday I had chicken pox. Of course, nothing to do with the lobster patty.
Yes.
And you know what it vex? It was like the week before the start of the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and I was hosting the whole tournament. So for the first week of the World Cup, I had a nervous bump.
So we just cross but everything. So I've not had a lobster patty since then.
Yeah.
Yeah? Not, and again, the patty don't have nothing to do with it.
It's overdue now.
It's overdue
Yes.
now. But them two there, wicked.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of patty time because before that, the people, something going to start quarreling me now. And somebody called me Wanga God. James Ivad. No, James, I know you Wanga God. The patty them nice. Devon House Bakery, I commend it to you that you should go to Devon House, listeners, and just buy any patty. But you see the barbecue pork and the curry goat. Oh my lord, my lord, my lord. Boy, Ricardo, what a day, what a week for you get on vacation, boy.
Right?
Because you're gonna enjoy
Missed
yourself. Anyway. Whew, Tana. We've been reporting a particular story since last week concerning the Integrity Commission and some changes, some staff changes. And then on Friday we reported that letter that Ed Bartlett and Kamina Johnson-Smith wrote jointly to the chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carl Lawrence Beswick, and which they copied to the Governor General. There are many ways I could approach this conversation this morning, but I'm just going to take it purely from the reporting side. To tell the listeners that often we say in media that we can't report the full story based on what we know. Tana knows that when I repeat that thing this morning, that statement this morning, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because listeners, what we in this organization know about the motivation behind some of the changes and how certain people at the Integrity Commission came to no longer be at the Integrity Commission. It makes the heart bleed. It is a heavy thing that we have custody of. Makes me feel almost kind of like when they gave Smeagol the ring in Lord of the Ring and he transformed into Gollum because the ring just corrupted him because the ring was just, that burden of the burden of what we have, which we can't report. And here's why we can't report it. It's not that we don't trust our sources. And trust us, in this case, the trust couldn't be more, the source couldn't be more impeccable. But there are times when you can't use certain things because you will not be able to, if you are challenged, bring forward certain information because that will have too many implications for the persons who have generously given you information, insight into what is really happening behind the scenes. And we here at Nationwide, we know very well how in the event of a big story that we report, something of significant public interest, that you get from credible sources, people of impeccable character, people in the fray, and then when it comes to the test, you're left alone like a jilted bride or groom at the altar. Significant other run gone because they must say, boy, listen, I can't stand with you in this case because it's going to mash up my career and my life and so forth, so forth. So, you're there on your own. We know what that feels like. So, it is a thing that has, for the whole of last week, it has weighed heavily on me. Because even as we report to you what we know, we have to be tiptoeing. Not because you're afraid of people. No, man, it's not that in that context. But it's a sensible perspective. Because, listeners, viewers, if I could tell you, you would agree. Say, all right, I see why you do what you do. Yeah? But it just shows you how organized and coordinated certain actions are to achieve a certain outcome. And subsequent developments to us coming into contact with the information from which we shared some things with you earlier in the week have proven to me, not speaking for anybody else, that the assumptions I had about the whole scheme are dead on correct. And we're in trouble as a country. We're in trouble as a country if the quest for power causes men and women to ignore decency, to forget their humanity, and say, power, cost it what it will. So I don't want you to feel as if we don't know what's happening. We do. And one day in the future, I don't know when, I'd love for you to know the full extent of what we know. I mean, know someone out there say, Lord God, George, are talking a parable, but it's the best I can do. It's the best I can do under the circumstances. Because if we, Tana, I said to myself, if I had the finances of, say, like, if I was rotten rich, I still wouldn't take the risk of, because it's not just me, it's the other people involved who would be damaged, potentially. So I said to myself, we are, as a country, caught in a situation where the fight for Jamaica, the dog fight for Jamaica, well, it makes no sense to say it's intense because it's a dog fight. It's rough. And people will stop at nothing. And let me tell you this. The one thing that has emerged from this, there are some people who you've heard me say in this chair that, gentlemen of integrity and this of integrity. You will never hear me say that again. There are some people in this country, a couple gentlemen especially, well, 4 of them, based on what we know, you will never hear me. I don't know about anybody else here. Each commentator is under their own steam. But you will never hear me make the mistake of calling those gentlemen's names and integrity in the same sentence. Because we know what we're up to. We know what you've done. We know what you're doing. And a journalist's life is hard. Because for the story and to get things out, I mean, you could shut your hands and report it in a business what happened. You can't do that. It's not about you. Other people, their families, their reputations, their professional prospects, you damage those if you act a certain way. And this is one of those situations. This, in fact, listen, I've not been here long as a journalist, I've been here, June is going to make 20 years. 20 years straight out of university into this vocation, yeah? In my 20 years, I've never had to deal with a matter like this. And I thought I had dealt with everything up to this point. But this one is new, where you have the information. The source can't be more impeccable, but you can't report what the source says. But at least, my granny always say, the greatest thing is to know. And we know. And there are some of you, I'm not afraid to sleep at night time, because I'm afraid that I'm not going to wake up. But Master God no work, so. But anyway, on the beat and going sweet.
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
Get extra on your hand with a partner plan from JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union. Conditions apply. The temperature compliments of JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union. Your financial partner for life is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time of a Street Smarts Barn with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, George. Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Good man, good.
All right, by extension, it's Tona, good morning.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
All right, and our listeners, morning time, all transport operators, everyone, all the commuters and passengers traveling. Look here, it's really bright and sun. Each morning I can say it's getting really bright and brighter. And no doubt, we're going to have a warm summer. Anyway, the situation on our road is that it's getting busy. Coming out of Manor Park, the flow is steady. Olivia Road, Shortwood Road, going on to Roseberry Drive, that's in the Arcadia area. They're onto Arcadia Drive, coming out on Barbican Road, you're going to notice traffic. But it's slowing, and then coming off Ross Lights, you're going to notice it's moving also towards Barbican Road, and same thing around Birdsucker Lane. And going around to East Kingsville, the flow is steady for the time being. Going around to Whitcomb, it's the same thing. Going through Charlemont Avenue, Charlemont Drive, into Old Pastures, the movement is good. But guess what? The greatest movement of traffic right now is really on that Mandela Highway, coming towards 6 miles to 3 miles, and from 6 miles to Washington. These roads have been busy from early this morning. It continues to be so. Likewise, if you're on Maxfield Avenue, coming up into Apple Tree, South Oden Avenue, these are the areas that you're going to find quite busy. It's also active in the Crossroads area, Slight Road, Crossroads, and all these areas. So no doubt, as we get to our second report, most of the areas will be heavy with traffic and the intersection busy. So until that time, it's back to you in the studios.
Thank you, Ludlow there with the Street Smarts one. Up next, the word of the day.
Your word of the day is spelt P-I-L-O-S-E, spelt P-I-L-O-S-E.
Pylos. Pylos. Pylos.
Pylos is your word of the day. It's an adjective. Pylos, meaning covered with hair, especially soft hair. A synonym for pylos, furry. Pylos, furry. P-I-L-O-S-E. Dictionary.com is telling us that the word was first recorded between 1745 and 1755, first recorded between 1745 and 1755, to use pylos in a sentence. The stem is slender, nearly orange color, with a violet-brown apex, the whole minutely pylos. Furry. Definition I'm seeing here again, covered with hair, especially soft hair. Maybe there are other ways that you can use the word pylos, spelled Pilose. Up next, your features at the top of the hour of the news.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Today on Living Well, the frightening world of food fillers. Have you ever wondered what is in what you eat? Unfortunately, many of you never give it a second thought. Food is supposed to be what is grown naturally, and animals that are raised naturally, just as nature intended it. Guess what though? Food is not food anymore. The cost of food is lower than it has ever been before. Food fillers are lowering the cost of meat. A cheeseburger today costs less than produce. What are food fillers? Fillers help to bulk up the weight of food, thereby making the food cheaper. Most fillers are found in processed meat. Meat fillers can lower the cost of meat by about 10 to 30%, and labeling is also most times a fabrication. For example, 100% ground beef, which has filler, costs about $3 per pound. Organic ground beef costs about $4.25 per pound. So while putting in the food fillers may sound good, they're costing you a lot with regards to your health and nutrition. Let's start with cellulose. It's a natural component found in many plants and is used in the production of paper. Much of the cellulose found in food is derived from wood pulp. It is used in cereals, shredded cheese, salad dressing, and ice cream. People cannot digest cellulose. Adding it to food makes for a non-fat, low-calorie filler. Cellulose is found in many high-fiber snacks, and eating organic won't help you avoid it. You can recognize cellulose when you see these names on the labels of packaged foods. Microcrystalline cellulose, cellulose gel, cellulose gum, or carboxymethyl cellulose. Don't eat it. Soy. Yes, soy. Everyone's favorite food these days. It's everywhere. Did you know that soy causes the overproduction of estrogen in women and in men? Soy derivatives can be found filling a variety of foods, from frozen yogurt to ground beef. Soy is found in about 60% of the foods found on the supermarket shelves. In ground meats, soy acts as a cheap filler, lowering both price and nutritional quality of the meat. Soy contains high levels of phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that steals and eliminates important vitamins and minerals from the body. Next is olestra. This is a fat substitute synthesized by Procter & Gamble. The human body cannot digest the big molecules it is made of, so it contributes 0 calories when it is consumed. Introduced in the late 90s by Frito-Lay and included in fat-free Pringles, products containing olestra were originally required to warn customers of the risk of loose stools. Within 4 years of introduction, 15,000 people had called a hotline set up specifically to take adverse reaction complaints. In 2003, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration removed the warning label requirement. Read between the lines. Olestra interferes with the body's absorption of critical nutrients such as beta-carotene and lycopene. Next is potassium bromate. It helps bread to rise quickly and puff up during baking. Bread dough is bound together by gluten molecules, which require oxidation. Potassium bromate speeds up the oxidation process considerably and makes the bread fluffy, soft, and unnaturally white. In 1982, Japanese researchers published the first study linking potassium bromate to thyroid and kidney cancer in mice. If undercooked, the amount in the end product can be much higher than recommended. The likelihood of ingesting potassium bromate is increased by eating fast food. Potassium bromate is illegal in some of these and other countries: China, Canada, Brazil. It is legal in the United States. Educate yourself on what you are eating, and remember, Go back to the old ways, for in them is life. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for a powerful natural alternative, oil of oregano.
Living Well was brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
If you have a hectic schedule and barely get much sleep, I can imagine the bags under your eyes. Let's review a few things you can do. Hi, I'm Tana, and these are your lifestyle pages. Reduce your salt intake. Water will travel from the parts of your body that are low in sodium to the parts that have. The area around your eye is a prime example. That's why a dinner loaded with salt will result in a morning after puffiness. Sleeping on your side or stomach, gravity will cause fluid to collect under your eyes. Try to sleep on your back and add an extra pillow under your head. Ladies, remove your eye makeup before snoozing. It can make your eyes water and cause a case of morning after puffiness. Still swollen? Try chilling them with slices of cucumber or tea bags. I'm Tana. Catch you next time.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, Monday, April 14, 2025, JLP expected to announce official results of internal selection in Western Westmoreland later on Monday. The Prime Minister says the opposition PNP is to blame for halting the country's push towards a republic. The Police Federation accuses Jamaicans for Justice of undermining the JCF. And in international news, European markets up as Trump suggests Chinese tariff exemption might be short-lived.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The ruling JLP has withheld the official results of Sunday's internal selection exercise in Western Westmoreland as the party completes its final count. Nationwide News understands the results will be released on Monday evening. Our news centre has been informed that it was a closely fought contest involving Councillor for the Sheffield Division, Dr. Garfield James, and incumbent Member of Parliament, Morland Wilson. Unofficial reports suggest Councillor James emerged victorious. However, the margin of victory remains unclear. Reports indicate that voter turnout was low despite nearly 600 delegates being eligible to cast their ballots. Dr. James addressed the media following a celebratory gathering at Little London High.
Well, it was an exciting race. The party's process have been implemented. The respective supporters for each team came out and aggressively, but in a positive way, worked assiduously for their respective team. At the end of the day, the results, we are still awaiting the official results to be announced. But based on the preliminaries, we are looking good in terms of coming out on top. However, I want to make it clear that we are all members of the same team. Hence, at the end of the day, respect at the highest level must be given to each and every one, because at the end of the day, the party's interest is above self, and hence we are to come together in a way that will unite us to go to the bigger picture, which is to ensure that we can retain the constituency for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Dr. James underscored the need for improved representation in the constituency and expressed a commitment to building on the foundation already laid.
At this point, we're not making promises. At this point, we'll ensure that we put forward to the constituency and the constituents in relation to us providing better or greater representation, and to build on what has started and to ensure that we can work together. And we are not here to make promises, we are here to work and to ensure that we carry out the mandate of the government. So I have no doubt that we will come together in a short order to ensure that we put the energy behind one team with one objective.
Dr. Garfield James, councillor for the Sheffield Division. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has accepted that the goal of transforming Jamaica into a republic at this time has been dashed. The Prime Minister places the blame of the failure squarely at the feet of opposition leader Mark Golding.
You can't take what the PNP said because they only act in their convenience. So the dream of many Jamaicans of our country becoming a republic has been dashed at the altar of PNP selfishness. Primarily because they don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to be credited with making Jamaica the republic. They don't want that because they know that we would go down in the annals of history as a party that repatriated our sovereignty. They don't want that.
The Prime Minister delivered the rebuke while addressing a large crowd at the JLP's East Central St. Catherine Constituency Conference on Sunday. The PNP has boycotted all but the initial sitting of a joint select committee reviewing the Constitution Amendment Republic Act, which seeks to abolish the British monarch as Jamaica's head of state. Opposition leader Mark Golding cited the Prime Minister's unwillingness to answer questions about Jamaica's final appellate court as the reason for the boycott. Without the support of the opposition, any attempt to move forward will end in failure. Dr. Holness accused Golding of going back on his word.
The leader of the opposition stood up in Parliament and he said, I support it. Yes, I believe we should move ahead forthwith because the support is on our side as well for Jamaica to become a republic. And I said, well, I have to take him at his word and put in place a process to move Jamaica towards becoming a republic. Only to hear after a long period of review and study and a report was prepared, only to hear that they changed their mind. They no longer want it. Now they say that they are going to tie it to the removal of the Privy Council, when that was never a part of the discussion. And we were very clear that these matters have to move in a process.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness says through its actions, the PNP has shown it cannot place the needs of the country above its own narrow political interests.
So something that is in your interest, because it doesn't suit their interests, they don't do it. So that brings me now to ask you, who really wants change in the country? Who really wants to see change for the better in this country? And who is the party that is bringing change to Jamaica? Who is the party that is tangibly, really changing the landscape of Jamaica? Which political organization is changing Jamaica for the better? Think about it. My thinking Labourites and my thinking Jamaican. Who is really making the changes in Jamaica?
The Prime Minister urged his supporters and Jamaicans at large to vote for the party he believes will best promote the needs of the country.
So yes, my Labourites, and yes, my Jamaicans, this election is about who will continue to change Jamaica for the better. Who will continue to build out the highways? Who will continue to build out the hospitals? Who will continue to build out the schools? Who will continue to build out the logistics hub? Who will continue to buy the new buses? Who will continue to buy the new garbage trucks? Who will continue to give the largest salary increases to public sector workers? Who will continue to build the houses? Who will continue to change Jamaica for the better?
Dr. Andrew Holness, Prime Minister. The opposition PNP says it strongly condemns what it calls the glaring hypocrisy in the position taken by government parliamentarians on the appointment of Renif Lawrence as Acting Director of Corruption Prosecution at the Integrity Commission. Lawrence has been described by PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell as a friend of more than 20 years. Last Friday, the leader of government business in the House, Ed Bartlett, and the leader of government business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, wrote to the chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, to register their serious concern at Lawrence's appointment. But the PNP issued a statement on Sunday criticizing what they say amounts to a political witch hunt. The PNP says given Jamaica's population, social and professional associations with persons who are active in national politics are inevitable. It says those commonplace connections are innocuous and are not, in and of themselves, indicators of political bias, nor do they disqualify anyone from public service. The PNP says there is no claim of misconduct or bias against Ranif Lawrence, yet his appointment is being attacked because someone who attended his wedding is affiliated with the PNP. It pointed to the marriage of the minister in charge of water, Matthew Samuda, and a senior executive at the Jamaica Observer newspaper as evidence of the government's hypocrisy. It also mentioned the senior position occupied by a friend of the Prime Minister at the Housing Agency of Jamaica and at the Urban Development Corporation. The PNP also stated that the wife of the Prime Minister, quote, serves as Speaker of the House while presiding over matters related to the Integrity Commission, end quote. Meanwhile, Government Senator Marlon Morgan is slamming criticism by the PNP of concerns regarding Ranif Lawrence's appointment as another example of the PNP's hypocrisy, deception, and convenient changing of principles.
The PNP's media release begins with a deceptive framing. It describes the PNP General Secretary and Acting Corruption Prosecution Director's close relationship as a past association. This is not so. Only this year, Campbell posted him being at the wedding of Lawrence, and he appeared to be a member of the Groom's Party, which is a role only reserved for very close friends and friends who are considered family. The PNP media release, which framed the position taken by the government parliamentary leaders as a witch hunt, further confirms the PNP and its leadership's unprincipled behavior and willingness to talk from both sides of their mouth.
Senator Morgan says the position taken by Bartlett and John Smith on behalf of government members is credible and should be supported by all well-thinking Jamaicans. He says it is irresponsible of the PNP to not acknowledge that the sensitivity and authority of the particular position of Acting Director of Corruption Prosecution is one which must be viewed with particular objectivity. He says it's also important to note the concerns about Lawrence's appointment were not raised in a vacuum. He notes that the concerns were also raised in the context of reports which indicate that a former corruption prosecution director who is of sound professional repute came under undue pressure following a lawful decision she made. Her contract was subsequently not renewed, and reports that a former senior investigator resigned from the commission after a statement she gave which questioned the ethics of the approach taken by the commission to an investigation was excluded from a report submitted to Parliament and efforts made to have her retract. The senator says the PNP media release confirms that the Mark Golding-led party will continue to take positions based on what is politically expedient at any given moment.
Only a few weeks ago, PNP President Mark Golding used a political platform to raise the issue of conflict of interest and urged the Governor General not to allow the appointment of anyone to a key and sensitive post to the Commission who is close to any member of the political fraternity. This is among the main points which the government's parliamentary leaders made in their correspondence. Yet the PNP had sought to criticize the position expressed. The media release confirms the PNP's hypocrisy and that Jamaicans cannot trust for a minute any position the PNP takes on important national issues because their stance may change at any given moment.
Senator Marlon Morgan. And political commentator Carol Narcisse says it's difficult to expect that the holders of certain public offices will not have close relationships with persons active on the political front.
Given the size of Jamaica and the extent to which it is more likely than not that people will have gone to school together, varying levels, all the levels of schooling, and would have formed friendships, it is hardly likely that we are going to find people to staff the Integrity Commission who do not have friends in the public sector, who do not have friends in the political parties. who do not have friends amongst persons who are on public sector boards, and so on. If the nature of the space that we are operating in is that these friendships are likely to be part of what the person comes to the job with, then we are going to have to be using other yardsticks to measure whether this person is fit and proper and appropriate.
She says there's nothing to suggest that Ranif Lawrence will be less than professional as he carries out his duties.
Is there anyone who is able to say that this individual has a history of professional misconduct, of a lack of professional integrity? I haven't heard it. The Integrity Commission structure means that the information goes through a process of investigation, verification, corroboration, vetting of the quality of the information that is before them, before a file reaches a director of prosecutions. So that information, are we saying that because of one particular type of friendship and affiliation, that that person would set aside the information that has been brought in that file?
Carol Narcisse, public commentator. Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Sergeant Arlene McBean, has launched a blistering attack on human rights group Jamaicans for Justice, accusing the organization of undermining efforts of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Sergeant McBean criticized the JFJ for its upcoming End Police Violence protest set for April 29 at the Halfway Tree Transport Center in St. Andrew.
I would love for you to have the placard telling men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice, thank you. I would love for you to have placard to speak to the family of police officers who have been gunned down by criminals. If you can't do that, I classify you as a true terrorist. If you can't do that, Jamaica for Justice, I classify you as a true terrorist. Dr. Kevin Blake and the men and women and leadership of this force has transformed the system.
JFJ says the protest is being held in response to public concern about the increasing number of fatal police shootings. Over 90 civilians have reportedly been killed by police during alleged confrontations since the start of the year. According to Sergeant McBean, JFJ has failed to recognize and commend the work being done by the police.
In 25 years, we have never seen a reduction at the end of February so low. 25 years. And for the past 20 years, we are considered a safer nation. But yet, you're looking at a few things without doing your research. I am going to send a message to Jamaica for Justice. Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Because if the problem comes to your doorway, you have to call Dr. Kevin Blake and the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to solve it.
Meanwhile, Sergeant McBean says criticism from the sidelines is unhelpful.
How dare you walk to the Jamaica Constabulary Force instead of partnering with us? Come and have a sit down with us. Show us your stats of community engagement where you go out there in communities and tell the criminals that we are going to have a Get the Guns campaign and hand over the guns to us, Jamaica for Justice. Help us save lives. We want you to help us save the citizens' lives. You cannot be one-sided, and it's clear that there is no recognition for the stats from Indicom. You know why? Over 80% of all police shooting were justifiable. JFJ or whatever J you are. Let it be a joyous moment and go and get the facts.
Sergeant Arlene McBean, the chairman of the Police Federation, and she was speaking at the funeral service for Detective Corporal Garfield Ledford, held last Saturday at New Testament Church of God in Brownstown, St. Anne. A 65-year-old man is believed to have drowned in the Bogwalk Gorge late on Sunday night. This after the Toyota Hiace bus he was driving veered off Flat Bridge and plunged into the Rio Cobre. The police put the time of the incident at 10:41 p.m. The deceased has been identified as Noel Patterson of Portmore in St. Catherine. Patterson was reportedly heading from Bogward towards Spanish Town at the time of the incident. He's believed to have been the only occupant of the vehicle. Police say residents pulled his body from the river, but resuscitation efforts proved futile. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. In international news, European markets rose in early trading on Monday. The FTSE 100 is still in the green, with the UK index trading 1.8% higher. In Frankfurt, the German DAX is up 2.5%, while in Paris, the CAC 40 is 2.2% higher. The uptick comes as US President Donald Trump suggests tariff exemptions for smartphones and other tech products from China could be short-lived. Writing on social media, Trump says nobody's getting off the hook for unfair trade balances. The White House had announced the exclusions from steep reciprocal tariffs on Friday, creating some hope that the tech industry might escape the escalating conflict between the two nations. Beijing earlier called on Trump to completely cancel the import taxes, currently at 145%. The back and forth over tariffs last week caused major swings in global financial markets. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:19.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Outaris, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Jamaica! Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carey Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General, 6,500, and VIP, 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
Street Smart Stewart, Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Oh, this is a quick one, Joe. Quick update. It's just to tell you that the traffic flow has increased in many areas. Most of the areas in Half a Tree Square, Waterloo Road, Trafalgar, Hope, and all these areas, Hope Road into Half a Tree, Hope, all over the place in the Ligonier area, all of that. And just to tell you that the Wellington Drive, pothole that was at Wellington Drive, it has been sorted out. So some good work is, so if you're coming from Mona Road onto Wellington Drive to get to Monroe Road, that little pothole in the left-hand side here that caused the problem in the morning, it's now solved. So as usual, at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. Over to you.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2 up next, front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
I watched a video on the weekend. There's this website on, no, not website, this handle on YouTube. This account where they have, I think it's called Flag City. It's a Jamaican thing.
Yeah.
Where they have these eating contests, food contests. Let me tell you this, Tana. So there were 3 contestants. Each had a tray. You know the tray that you'd put your food on to transport it? Yeah. Each had the food was shared on a tray. 10 spoon of rice, curried goat, chicken in one contest. Right? Other contest, 2 men. Each had 40 dumplings.
What?
40 dumplings.
You're kidding.
Cabbage and saltfish. And then a plate with roast breadfruit.
Listen, you had me at the 40 dumplings.
Let me tell you this. The 40 dumplings. And it came down to the wire. Because when one man had...
Are you serious?
When one man had 1 dumpling left, the other one had half. I know them start.
Wow.
And the video, it's a long video, you know,
Yes,
because
of
it
course.
shows not a second is cut out, the whole of it. So when a man like him eat, like the winner, when he had 1.5 dumpling left, the man get up and go around and start jump like him make the food good. That was crazy, man.
If you still have it, you'll have to share it a little bit later.
Crazy. No, I'll put a piece up later.
Yes.
But serious business now.
Yes, serious business indeed. We're turning our attention to North Central St. Catherine, where the JLP had a meeting last evening.
East Central.
East Central St. Catherine, where the Prime Minister of the JLP had a meeting yesterday. The Prime Minister spoke at that meeting and warned that the true threat to Jamaica's democracy is widespread ignorance among the population. He explained that when people are not fully informed about national affairs, they become more susceptible to believing misinformation, particularly from the opposition People's National Party. Dr. Holness made the remarks, as I said, while addressing the constituency conference in East Central St. Catherine on Sunday.
The lies of the PNP. I had the opportunity to overhear a TikTok live. Just by accident, somebody beside me was on TikTok, and they scroll and I hear the PNP live. And when I hear the amount of lies where the PNP never tell, I said, God help us. Because I know it's not going to affect any labor rights. But it will affect those persons who don't know. PNP will believe their own lies because they are living in a delusion. But the danger is when they start to tell the lies to people who don't know. So I hear one of them say, them a talk about the dollar stable. The dollar not stable at all. And me I say, but hold on now. This period between 2016 and now has been the most stable that the Jamaican dollar has ever been. We have seen the least depreciation in the value of the dollar. The real problem we have, the real threat to our democracy is ignorance. The real threat to our democracy is ignorance in our population. People don't know. The other real threat is bad mind. And when you put ignorance and bad mind together, you have a real problem. But as I said, the middle of Jamaica, the thinking Jamaicans, they see through the lies and they see through the bad mind.
Dr. Holness is urging his supporters and Jamaicans at large to vote for the party he believes will best promote the needs of the country. Dr. Holness says through its actions, the PNP has shown it cannot place the needs of the country above its narrow political interests.
This election is about who can really change things and who will continue to change versus those who oppose change for the better. The objective of politics is to take power away from people who prevent good things from happening and give it to people who can make good things happen. You have us to make. The people of Jamaica, the thinking people of Jamaica, not those who have a hereditary bias. The choice you have is to ensure that the people who can really change Jamaica get your vote. Not the people who come with promises. And I want to close my presentation with you because, please, I want to close my presentation with you. I see a flyer circulating on social media. And a young lady sent it to me to say, Prime Minister, I see the PNP circulating something that they're going to give every young person $500,000 on a deposit for a house. Now, this is a university student. And I was pleasantly surprised because she said, Prime Minister, when I saw it first, it grabbed me. But when my friends and I started to actually examine the number, we realized that they are selling us a horse and telling us the horse can fly. She said, the $1 billion taken from the NHT sound enough. But because we don't know what category of young people they are talking, well, young people could start from 18 to 39, and you would be looking at more than 150,000 people possibly in that category. She said to me, well, if you divide the billion by 500,000, the most you will be able to give is about 2,000 people. And then she asked the question, which 2,000 people go and get it? How are you going to distribute it? That sounds like friend and company business. Exactly. That sounds like there was no real thought put into it. So it will catch some people who want to be told a lie, who want a horse that can fly. But for the thinking Jamaicans who take up them calculator upon them phone and work it out, bad mind and ignorance can't hold them people in. The real problem is the lack of enough houses on the market to keep the price stable, particularly in the low income and affordable housing range. And so any solution that you're going to bring to the table to deal with the issue of housing must surround how you're going to increase the supply of housing. Because any solution that you bring that increases the demand for housing without at the same time increasing the supply of housing is going to cause the demand for housing to increase and therefore the price to increase. So if all of a sudden 2,000 more people have $500,000 more and them go after the same 1,000 house, they are able to bid higher for the same 1,000 house and therefore the price go up. I know there are many Jamaicans hopeful, and so anybody come to them with snake oil and tell them, say, horses can fly, here, this horse can fly, they grab it and believe it. Those are the people bad mind will manipulate their ignorance. But you know that the Jamaica Labour Party does not play up on ignorance. We are the party that seeks to educate the people, give them the information, tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me not sin upon the people of Jamaica. Me not trick the people of Jamaica. Me not go tell them lie to get them vote.
I think we should take the break and come right back and pick up with more. The Prime Minister in East Central St. Catherine Cedar Grove Academy on Sunday.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:34.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
I saw something suspicious at work the other day and decided to speak out. I was afraid at first, but did it because corruption must stop. They never too liked the idea and even threatened to fire me. But I believe it's my duty to speak out against these things. Be a whistleblower and help eliminate corruption. Call the Integrity Commission at 876-968-6227 or email cpd@integrity.gov.jm.
A message from the Integrity Commission, United Against Corruption.
You ever get bun yet? The bun was sweet so much you can't resist. Me not talk about heartbreak. Me not talk about the bun with full of spice, raisin, and the perfect glaze. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. This is the bun where everybody need this Easter. If you don't get bun, you not live life right. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. Get the best type of bun from the right people. Mother's Bakery Easter bun. The bun you have to get with love in every bite. Available in select supermarkets.
Back with us on Nationwide this morning. It's the front page, and what we're doing with the front page this morning, just recapping what the Prime Minister said to JLP supporters at the Cedar Grove Academy in East Central St. Catherine on Sunday for that constituency conference hosted by the Member of Parliament Alando Terrylang. The Prime Minister also spoke to the issue of Portmore, as he made the case for the government's push to complete the transition of Portmore into Jamaica's 15th parish. He says Portmore must have full control over its own processes.
The only thing left now is for Portmore to take its rightful place with all these new investments and development as a parish. Let me say something about Portmore. The last official statistics say that there are about 200,000 persons in Portmore. 200,000. I took note of Andrew Wheatley's more generous statistic that there are almost 300,000. I am inclined to agree that it probably is a little bit more than 200,000 and just maybe under 300,000. But whatever it is, Portmore would be larger than the parish of St. Thomas, the parish of Hanover. It would be larger than St. Mary and Portland. No, hold on. Portmore would be larger than St. Lucia, Antigua, maybe a little bit larger than, no, maybe not. Grenada. The point I'm making to you is that Portmore is now taking its rightful place. Portmore would be the first. It needs to have full control over its approval processes. It needs to have full, and it needs to have full control over the direction of its development. What Jamaica suffers from is the ignorance and bad mind and power-hungry people. So here is what happens. They don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to be the one to define Portmore as a parish, because somehow they feel that that will hurt them politically. Not that it will hurt them by taking away PDs from the constituency they now hold. That is one concern they have. But the real concern is that it would be the Jamaica Labour Party that has created the 15th parish and established that for the rest of history, that the generations to come would remember that it is the Jamaica Labour Party that established this booming metropolis of Portmore. And they don't want that. They don't want that. So even if it is in your interest, what the power-hungry PNP will do is use their bad mind mentality and play upon the ignorance of people. And they will use every instrument available to them to put an obstacle in your own progress because it doesn't match their political agenda. And that is why, Labourites, we must never sit back idly and comfortably when the PNP is on a mission for their own self-aggrandizement. We must be vocal. We must be loud. We must be militant against those who will use bad mind to influence ignorance against the interests of the people. So we are proposing something, not just an academic change, but real change in putting in investment and infrastructure. And they are blocking it. In whose interest are they seeking power?
The issue of Mandeville's, the park that the Prime Minister announced in his budget presentation that he intends to construct in Mandeville, if of course the JLP gets the third term, that also came up for discussion, because you would have heard a story carried here on Nationwide 90 FM where the mayor of Mandeville said, look, this thing about park is a waste of resources, and resources are limited anyway. We should fix up the Mandeville market. That's what we should prioritize rather than this thing about pursuing the development of a park. Holness spoke to that and didn't mention Donovan Mitchell by name, but there was no doubt to whom he was speaking.
I came into politics to change things, to improve things, to make your life better in real ways. That's why I come into politics. So when I look at my Jamaica, a country that had lovely parks, lovely botanical gardens, and then for many years of neglect, those parks and those gardens deteriorated to nothing. One of the dreams that I had, which I then turned into a vision, which I then had the opportunity to allocate budgets to, is to make sure that every parish in Jamaica has a park. Not a park that you have to lock up and mad people take it over and all kind of foolishness happening in the park. A park where you can go and walk, go eat ice cream and sit down on the grass, go watch performance in the park, go do a little jogging. You can have recreation in the park. A whole heap of the lifestyle diseases that we have is because we don't have any plan, is that every parish must have a park. We built one in St. James, and we call it the Harmony Park. The PMP then promised to build a park here. For how long? I come, and I am building the park now. It's called the Resilience Park in Portmore. I find some way that we can now build a park in the center of the island in Manchester. We're building a park in Manchester. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why an elected representative, somebody who is supposed to be representing the best interest of the people of the area that elected him, come and say, him no want no park. I have never heard a more backward kind of thinking than this. But as I said, when you put ignorance and bad mind together, very dangerous, because they don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to have the political credit. He would rather deprive the people of their park for political power for themselves. What kind of leadership is that? They don't choose you. They don't choose Jamaica. They choose themselves. They are only about power for themselves.
The Prime Minister says the goal of transforming Jamaica into a republic at this time has been dashed. We'll hear that after this break.
Burnshack fried chicken always ready. Burnshack, original crispy. Burnshack, Cajun spicy. Burnshack, a barbecue. Burnshack, we are go a Burnshack.
The time brought to you by Burchak Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay and Ocho Rios is
7:47.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
More
savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center, the one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest styles, the kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
So before the break, we told you that the Prime Minister would address the issue of the move to a republic as he spoke to Labour Party supporters at the East Central St. Catherine Constituency Conference held at Cedar Grove Academy, one of the emerging top schools, one of the emerging institutions in St. Catherine. Cedar Grove Academy. Reputation of the school is growing by the year, and that's where the JLP was for this conference. So the Prime Minister told the audience that the goal of transforming Jamaica into a republic at this time, that it's been dashed.
Coming up to our 60th year of independence, a lot of the older leaders who retired started to talk about repatriating our sovereignty and that Jamaica should move forthwith to become a republic. An idea that I am sympathetic to. And being the Prime Minister at the time, it falls to me to put those things in motion to make Jamaica a republic. Never forget, the leader of the opposition stood up in Parliament and he said, I support it. Yes, I believe we should move ahead forthwith because the support is on our side as well for Jamaica to become a republic. And I said, well, I have to take him at his word and put in place a process to move Jamaica towards becoming a republic. Only to hear, after a long period of review and study and a report was prepared, only to hear that they changed their mind. They no longer want it. Now they say that they are going to tie it to the removal of the Privy Council, when that was never a part of the discussion. And we were very clear that these matters have to move in a process. You can't take what the PNP said, because they only act in their convenience. So the dream of many Jamaicans of our country becoming a republic has been dashed at the altar of PNP selfishness. Primarily because they don't want the Jamaica Labour Party to be credited with making Jamaica the republic. They don't want that. Because they know that we would go down in the annals of history as a party that repatriated our sovereignty. They don't want that. So something that is in your interest, because it doesn't suit their interests, they don't do it. So that brings me now to ask you, who really wants change in the country? Who really wants to see change for the better in this country? And who is the party that is bringing change to Jamaica? Who is the party that is tangibly, really changing the landscape of Jamaica? Which political organization is changing Jamaica for the better? Think about it, my thinking Labourites and my thinking Jamaicans. Who is really making the changes in Jamaica? So yes, my Laborites, and yes, my Jamaicans, this election is about who will continue to change Jamaica for the better. Who will continue to build out the highways? Who will continue to build out the hospitals? Who will continue to build out the schools? Who will continue to build out the logistics hub? Who will continue to buy the new buses? Who will continue to buy the new garbage trucks? Who will continue to give the largest salary increases to public sector workers? Who will continue to build the houses? Who will continue to change Jamaica for the better? We're moving like a movie, watch me. See glory run.
Who fi stop me? We living like a movie, watch me. Jump up in a jacuzzi, Ashley. Get on you just a move to the cash way. I'm one who fi slow me down.
Me want know who fi slow me down.
That's the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, speaking in Portmore, East Central St. Catherine constituency, to be precise. Now, the thing about that presentation, Tona, you know, I've been on the record over time very critical of the Prime Minister's presentations. There was a time when they were so steeped in the academic, well, dressed in the academic cloak. I mean, Andrew Holness has always been a bright man. There's no doubt about that, yeah? Very articulate from the jump. Those are never issues. But somehow, there was a time when his speeches just couldn't connect. You'd be listening, and you'd want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I don't know about anybody else, but when I'm listening to politicians, I want them to do well, whichever place they're speaking from, because these are our leaders, yeah? But there was a time when he just got bogged down in the kind of academic speak, the kind of scientist who is trying to do the job of the marketer to extol the virtues of a product he has spent developing. And rather than hire someone who is skilled in that area, who can speak to an audience, convince an audience about what he's saying, he's thinking that, well, I developed this product myself. Nobody knows it better than me. And he goes to make the presentation, and then he leaves the room after not getting any commitments for sales and wonders where he went wrong. That kind of situation. Now, he's both product developer and marketer in one. And he has long been so. I'm just talking about his early years as Prime Minister and even as opposition leader when he couldn't quite get to the groove. A different man, and he's long been a different man. The Prime Minister spoke for 5 hours in the budget debate, and I watched all of it, and I was held for the entire time. He spoke last evening, and let me tell you, last evening's presentations, one of his best. And he has a long list of bests. Again, there was a time when Audley Shaw was in his pomp, and even when Desmond McKenzie was doing more of the speaking rather than cheering. He cheers these days and, lets others do the talking. But there were Labour Party speakers who you'd wait for the microphone to reach them to give it the vibe at a Labour Party meeting. So I've covered many PNP campaign events, many Labour Party campaign events. Of course, you wanted to hear Mama P touch the microphone when you went to a PNP event because she full of the vibe, yeah. And when you went to the JLP events, you wanted the microphone to reach Audley because that's where you get the energy. That's where you get the card, we draw the card, as Jamaicans would say. That's where you got the substance married to the regular Jamaican speak. You'd get all of it. Andrew Holness was not the best speaker on the JLP slate. Not anymore. He is without doubt the one you want to hear. And it's a slate that has some strong speakers, but he stands above everybody else as the one presentation you want to hear, not just because he's Prime Minister, but because he's going to give you the message in a way that connects. He'll not bore you. He'll entertain you as well because he recognizes the responsibility to do that. And you're talking about a speaker who now is at the top of his game. They say a product, they taught us that a product life cycle has 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And they say you want to stay in the growth phase for as long as possible, because once you get out of growth and into maturity, the only place after that is decline. Wholeness is in his growth phase at the very, very top, and he wants to stay here for as long as possible because you don't want to go into maturity because you know what happens after that. But it is a good thing to see him mastering his craft and delivering in the way he delivered on Sunday.
And what I always appreciate about presentations from certain politicians, George, is when they're able to intertwine that, as you say, drawing the cards, as well as educating Jamaicans on important matters. And I think he's been able to master that and deliver it in a way to Jamaicans that they can leave a political meeting that he's at where he has presented, and you're able to go back and tell somebody in your own way what he has said about a particular policy. He's able as well to pull on different stories that he's heard from different Jamaicans who come up to him, or maybe one of the member of parliament has told him a story, and he's able to intertwine that in relation to a policy that he's speaking on. Because last evening when he was pushing back against PNP proposal in relation to that 500,000 deposit for NHD housing, he was able to use a story from a young voter out there and intertwine that into how he believes it will not work. And if you were watching as the camera panned to the listeners, they were listening keenly. People were shouting out different things in a way that made you understand that they're understanding as well what the Prime Minister is saying. So that's what I really appreciate. Not just the cards, but you're able to use those cards. And when you nail and you juke and whatever, you're also saying it away and teaching people so that they understand policies and can go back into their living rooms, their yards, the shop, a bar, water cooler, and explain the policies of a particular politician or a government.
And I want our political leaders to take a leaf out of not just his book, but his book and some others across the political divide, that you can move a crowd without being nasty.
Or the cascades.
Exactly. Yeah. And some people they believe that the only way for vibes up the crowd is to be deep in the cascades and the nastiness. What's the difference between you and a regular person if you can only go trace, forget a forward? Talk to the people. Yeah.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
The Coconut Industry Board is celebrating 80 years of serving Jamaica's coconut farmers. The Coconut Industry Board, seeding for the future. The time brought to you by the Coconut Industry Board is
8 o'clock.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Monday morning, the Embassy of the Dominican Republic in Jamaica is inviting the public to sign the official book of condolences in honor of the victims of the nightclub roof collapse in Santo Domingo last week. The condolence book will be available for signing today, Monday, April 14, and tomorrow, Tuesday, April 15, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at its headquarters at Temple Court Building on Hope Road, Kingston 6. Messages of condolence may also be submitted via email to embdom@mirex.gov.do. That's embdom, Jamaica, at mirex.gov.do. The incident at the Jet Set Club claimed the lives of more than 200 people and injured some 260 others. The embassy says the tragedy is among the most devastating non-weather-related events in the country's recent history. It has expressed a deep gratitude on behalf of the government and people of the Dominican Republic to the government and people of Jamaica for their expressions of sympathy and solidarity. The St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation is being encouraged to partner with the Tax Administration Jamaica to enhance property tax collection in the parish. Addressing the corporation's monthly meeting in Black River last Thursday, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie noted that while the parish surpassed its collection target last year, there is room for improvement. He told the corporation that it is important for the municipality to redouble its efforts so that it goes significantly above where it ended in the last financial year. The minister also encouraged the corporation to improve service delivery to persons doing business with the municipality. Mr. McKenzie said local government is front and center of every aspect of the daily lives of the Jamaican people. Minister McKenzie's visit to the corporation formed part of his two-day working visit to St. Elizabeth. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, is raising the alarm about the implications of widespread dumping of rubbish in gullies across the island. Aretha McFarlane is the operations director at the NSWMA.
Gullies were never designed nor built for garbage. The purpose of a gully is to allow for the free flow of water out of our communities. Without our gullies, we would experience all kinds of negative environmental impacts, such as the obvious one, flooding. What we have observed over time is a widespread issue of illegal dumping in our gullies across the island, especially along gully banks where people have established their homes. This is not to say that the other parts of the gullies are spared, because motorists and pedestrians, they find it a little bit too easy to toss their refuse around.
The NSWMA recently toured Cassava Peace in St. Andrew, encouraging residents to take better care of the gully that runs through the community.
The NSWMA also embarked on a pilot in the Cassava Peace area, which started in June of 2024. We have trained environmental wardens to serve that community in particular, to take their garbage from them, take it to a holding area, sweep up the area, and our trucks will go by the holding area and collect the garbage. We have recognized that Cassava Peace requires a little more intervention and effort. We are tweaking accordingly, and we are prepared to go with Cassava Peace for the long haul, because we believe that the change will come.
Aretha McFarlane, the operations director at the NSWMA. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
Welcome to Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Welcome to Inside Customs here on Nationwide 90 FM. It's a production of the Jamaica Customs Agency and its affiliated entities. It's where the JCA invites relevant people or sends relevant people to us to talk about the matters important to you where import, export, trade matters are concerned. And of course, so you can understand the processes much better so that there can be harmony when you go to transact business. My guest today is Carl Morgan. He's the Director of Information Systems and Records Management at the Trade Board Limited. And he is here to answer some specific questions about Export Jamaica. Carl, welcome back to Inside Customs. You're not a stranger, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
All right. Just to tell the listeners, and by way of information, Export Jamaica, cutting-edge global market intelligence and compliance platform that enables the identification of suitable markets and business opportunities worldwide. Through both platforms, the Trade Board Limited is actualizing its mission of providing relevant and current trade-related information. So these things are not by accident. These things are by design, and there are very, very well-qualified people manning the systems and the processes to ensure that they work in your favor. All right, Carl, let's get underway with it. When we last spoke, when you last appeared on Inside Customs, the Trade Board Limited had just launched Export Jamaica. So what has the performance of Export Jamaica been since its inception?
Okay. Well, it wasn't. I wasn't the one who appeared last on Inside Customs.
What was the last? A
little bit disappointing, I should say. When we launched with the intention of catering to Jamaican businesses, identifiable Jamaican businesses. So, as long as you identify yourself via your company registration as a Jamaican, then you could register. You qualify to register on the platform. What we realized shortly after launch was that there was not enough take-up. So we'd have a lot of persons visiting the site, but very few were registering. So we realized that the registration requirement for being a registered Jamaican company may have been an impediment. But because we are trying to grow export, and we realize that there are potential exporters out there who are not yet necessarily formed companies and so on. It could be a university student who just maybe trying to explore some possibilities and so on. We realized that that restriction perhaps was not a wise thing to do. So we decided to open up the platform so that more persons could register and therefore benefit from the information, the rich information that is on the platform. So we did that, and there has been not a significant uptick in registration. The last time I checked, which was a few days ago, we had over 70 registration, which is still small compared to what the potential that is out there in the country. Still a lot of persons visiting the portal, but not registering even though we have removed that restriction. And that is something that we'll have to ascertain why and work on, because the portal you did a pretty good summary of what the portal provides to exporters and potential exporters. And certainly those individuals who have actually utilized it realize just how useful it is, a tool it is for identifying new markets, potential buyers for their products and so on. But somehow it just doesn't seem that persons are gravitating towards it as we'd like at this stage.
Hear you on that. So then Vision 2030 is still a thing being pursued. We're 2025, 5 years to go. There'll be massive realignment, but that's not your worry at this point. You are talking about Export Jamaica and how that aligns with Vision 2030. And of course, the alignment of the Vision 2030 goals and the export thrust of the business ministry, I call it, the Ministry of Investment, Industry and Commerce.
Yes. I was reviewing a concept paper that we did some time ago. And it reminded me of something that the minister speaks about from time to time. The fact that, since independence, there has only been 1 year.
1966.
The year I was born, actually. Where we had a trade surplus.
Yes.
And, if we're serious as a country about achieving those Vision 2030 goals,
yes,
we're going to have to do better than that. We have to grow export. And as the minister said, Jamaica is a very small, 3 million people. If we keep trying to sell to 3 million people, we're not going to grow the economy significantly, all right?
Yes.
And, one of the things that, Dr. Blake, Hugh Blake, who is the CEO of the Trade Board, makes the point on several occasions that when you look at this entire region, we're talking about millions of people. I don't remember the figures right now, but certainly in excess of 50 million people. It's a large marketplace. If you include in the U.S., you're talking over 300 million people.
Yes.
All right? That potentially we can export or reach with our products. All right? And Jamaican products are, in fact, in demand. Unfortunately, one of the things that we have found, because we do go out to the exporters and potential exporters, our staff. And one of the things that we have found is that there is this sense that, we can't bother. Because them just think that this export process here too complicated.
Yes.
All right? And so even though there may be opportunities for some of our products, which the diaspora really want to get their hands on. And when you go into other places, people want Jamaican products. I was in Peru recently, and I was shocked when I'm walking through an Inca marketplace. I'm hearing Sean Paul music. All right?
Naughty.
All right? And everybody wants to know, a piece of Jamaica.
Yes.
But we're not really exploiting the opportunities because in some instances people can't bother. Some instances they just think that the export process is just too complicated. And that's part of the reason why we came up with this tool, all right, to make it easier. So not just identify markets for your product, but you can actually identify buyers for your product.
Yes.
You can even research if the particular entity that you have identified to buy your product is blacklisted.
Yes.
All right, whether by Interpol or the U.S. State Department
or
whoever.
Yes.
All right. So you are sure about who you are selling your product to. You are sure at the end of the day that you're going to get paid.
Right.
All right. So, and I guess maybe this is a point for me to speak a little bit about the Export Academy, which is the companion tool that we're about to launch, the companion tool to Export Jamaica.
Yes.
The Export Academy is designed to fill a different gap. Because one of the things that our staff found out in going out into the field and interacting with the exporters is that, some of these people think that this thing is rocket science, and it's not, all right? They think it's harder than it actually is. And the truth is, we do have some, I'm going to call them unintended impediments, which to exporting.
Right.
But if persons have knowledge, it can overcome those
And
things.
you're providing information so people can get knowledge.
So the Export Academy is a tool, it's an online tool that will be freely available to Jamaicans, again, just like Export Jamaica, where at the core of this tool is an assessment instrument to identify the gaps in the knowledge of an exporter or a potential exporter. And then what the tool, with the intelligence, the algorithms that we have in this tool, will then allow us to provide relevant training material based on the gap in knowledge that has been identified. So essentially, it's a tool that provides customized training based on the individual specific need. So we're trying to demystify export with the Export Academy.
Yes.
While at the same time, the Export Jamaica tool will then provide the means to identify your potential markets.
All right, here you go. You answered one of the questions that I was saving for the last bit, but never mind. It's a flow of the conversation. So, in light of the fact that the second staging of the MSME Business Roadshow is set for January 16, St. Catherine is where it will roll to. How can Export Jamaica assist, facilitate players in the MSME sector?
Well, again, we are certainly going to be participating in the MSME Roadshow, and we will, in fact, use the opportunity to showcase the tools that we have. The emphasis for us will be on the utility of the tool to identify new markets and the potential buyers for the products, because that's what MSMEs will need.
Right.
They need to know that, hey, listen, man, there's something out there that can help you. You don't need to have a big research department because you're not a large company like a Grace or Lasco or whatever. Some of our larger exporters are. But, you know, this tool is freely available. I mean, it's an entire marketing department freely available to you. That's what it is, really. And so we want to encourage persons to register and utilize the tool, all right, because they can benefit from it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this thing covers pretty much every country on the planet that you can think of, really.
Yes.
I mean, there's hardly any country and any product that you want to trade that you can't utilize this tool to identify a potential buyer for your product.
Yes.
All right. And it provides you with the kind of information that will help you to penetrate the markets overseas.
Yes.
So it will provide things like customs duty. It will indicate if there are any kind of trade agreements that you can benefit from. There's even a landed cost calculator that will make you, so you know what you can sell your product for and be competitive. So it's a very comprehensive tool, and we just want to encourage exporters and potential exporters to utilize this tool.
Very well. All right, then. Give me then some of the feedback that you've received from those businesses, members of the exporting community, who've used the export, or who've gone the whole hog, let me put it that way, with Export Jamaica so far. What have they been saying about the impact on their overall business strategy? And crucially, the most crucial thing of all, the bottom line, the profit.
Well, I can't speak to the bottom line, but no, to the best of my knowledge, no one has actually shared that kind of information as yet.
Yes.
However, I know there are two exporters I know I spoke to, all right? And in each instance, all right, when they have utilized the tool, I think it's safe to say that they were blown away because they didn't realize that this tool was so comprehensive in its offering. And in one instance in particular, the exporter was already envisioning other countries that they can get their product into, all right? And I haven't spoken to them since, but I suspect they have actually taken steps to using that tool to identify some new markets within the region here.
So you would say that the feedback is not a flood of feedback, but that which you've received largely positive.
It's been positive.
Yes.
It's been positive. In fact, everyone so far who was registered, I think it's safe to has had a positive experience of it, all right, based on the limited feedback we have had. But those were two individuals I spoke to directly myself.
Very well.
All right. In fact, I remember one presentation I did, very short presentation, and everybody was like, I mean, where was this thing all this time?
And therefore, Carl, if you have this good thing, and you say that, boy, at the outset you didn't get as much take-up as you wanted, and you refine and the take-up is building, but not to anywhere near the levels that you can accommodate. The obvious question then is this: you are in need of some evangelists for this thing. So if you look at the diaspora, what would you suggest the role of those in the diaspora should be to getting people to sign up, to take up the opportunity, to tap into a portal that makes the world a click away for their business and for their profit potential?
Well, we hope the diaspora will help us to promote the tool, and they themselves can utilize the tool. As I said at the outset, we had actually restricted it initially to companies, registered companies domiciled in Jamaica, all right? But we have opened up the tool. Any Jamaican with a TRN number, all right, and majority of our diaspora is suspect of a TRN number because they're still connected to the rock. So they themselves can utilize the tool for business opportunities, but we would want them also to promote this tool, both with certainly among the diaspora, but certainly we want any effort to help us to promote the tool, the use of the tool locally, because we really need to grow export from the country. The minister has been one of our biggest evangelists because pretty much everywhere the minister goes, he speaks about it. All right, and we also use every opportunities that we have to also promote the tool. And we'll continue to do that. The MSME Roadshow coming up is another opportunity for us to promote the tool, and we'll continue to do that.
How can we access Export Jamaica quickly? If anybody's curious by virtue of listening to you on this day and they want to just see for themselves what's there.
Go to the Trade Board website, www.tradeboard.gov.jm/Export Jamaica, or if you don't remember the /Export Jamaica, just go to the Trade Board website and it's right there, staring you in the face. Can't miss it.
Or go to Google, type in Trade Board Export Jamaica,
and you'll find it, precisely.
Carl Morgan, Director of Information Systems and Records Management at the Trade Board. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
That was Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:23.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville. Yeah.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
What is the
For more
TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently? But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake?
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait, I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
Yo, my boss.
Yo,
my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stark-terrific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, satisfy yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. So quickly, we're just going to show you. I was telling Tona earlier today that this handle, Flag City, on YouTube, they have these food competitions, right? And I was telling you about the one I was watching, Tona, where the two men tackled 40 dumplings each, and the cabbage and saltfish and a plate of breadfruit. And I think the cameraman said something about 2 bag of bulla after that. Anyway. But so we found one with 3 men going at 50 dumplings each, and one with rice and peas and curry goat and some other things. Let's do the rice and peas one first, King. We're gonna show you the rice and peas one first. So this is these are the trays. So listeners, you can't see, but the YouTubers are seeing. So that's the chef there now. So he's gonna load out. So those are 3 trays, not plates. I want you to count how much spoon of rice go on each tray, Tana. All right? So, come now. Come now, chef. Angle on fast.
1, 2, 3, 4. As a big spoon it up. 5, 6. Wow. 7. Oh, goodness me. 8. If not done. 9. German says can feed the whole family. 9. The 9th spoon of rice. And here we go, number 10.
All right. So, King, may it please you to just scrub forward and put on the meat. When you scrub forward, him start put on the curry goat.
Right,
All
because he's going to do the
pull up
same
now,
for
pull up
all
now.
of the trays.
Yeah.
With
So, all
the
right,
rice.
now. Pull up a little bit. All right, good. So, all 3 trays have the rice now. Watch it now. So, it's a pot of curry goat. Oh, by the way, it's deboned curry goat, you know. Man said take out all that bone. So, 1 spoon of curry goat. 2 spoon of curry goat on top of the 10 spoon of rice. I call it a 2.5. All right, 2.5. All right, good. All right, King, scrub now when him start put on the chicken pan. No. All right, pull up now, King. Pull up. Good. So him start put on the meat now, the chicken now. So 10 spoons of rice and peas, 2.5 spoons of curry goat. Now him start put on the chicken.
That's a 3rd piece of chicken.
Yeah, because there's a leg, a piece of hip,
Right.
and like 1 piece of breast.
Breast.
Yeah, Africa sea chicken. Oh, it's 1 big breast then, Tana. 1 big old breast, that, you know. All right.
Oh, so each gets 3 pieces of chicken.
Yeah.
All right.
Which include 1 breast, it look like, 1 leg, and another.
There
little
goes
piece.
the leg.
Mhm.
That looks... Is it?
Yeah, man, it's a leg that. So, yeah. All right, King.
And there goes the breast.
Right. King, fast forward now to when I put on the vegetable now. All right. So, pull up now. Right. So, the vegetable now going on, Tana. So, that's 1 spoon of cabbage. Like a steamed cabbage. Yeah, steamed cabbage. Steamed
Yes.
vegetable. Steamed veg.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, each man get 1 spoon. Good.
Man, you drop it.
All right, King. Scrub to when the contestants line up now. Good. Stop now. Play it now. So, based on what they said, the guy in the marina stretching, his name is Scotchy. So apparently he's some hero. The one in the red and white shirt, I forgot his name, but he was the one who prayed and prayed to God. He said, "Dear God." And the one in the middle is the they call him Breadfruit Man.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now King, the ball game start now. Scrub along now to King. No, make we hear the prayer. Make we hear the prayer, King. Make we hear the prayer. Make we hear the prayer. Pull it up and make we hear the prayer. You have to pull it up. You have to pull it up.
Wow. No, too far, coach. Should get from now, big champs.
Bone leaf.
From what? Now.
From now. Yes.
Coach, get the bone leaf from now.
Drumstick.
The prayer God, man. The prayer God. All right, the God. All right, scrub now forward now, King, when they eat now. Oh, is it? Yes.
Everyone shut them eyes. Everyone shut them eyes. Guard. Guard. Go with them, guard. Go with them, guard. And send a guiding angel for them, guard. And guard. Bless the ends, guard. What provide this food, guard. Amen. Hallelujah.
Bing!
All right. So them start now. So he have a spoon. Well, the 3 of them. Well, 2 spoons and 1 fork. Scotch Bonnet have a fork. Breadfruit Man have a spoon, and the prayer man have a spoon. All right, King. Scrub along now. Scrub along. Go on further than that, man. Go on further than that. All right. Go on, ease up now. Look, we see what
where they're at.
Tana.
Who is that?
Breadfruit Man a lead.
Breadfruit Man is
by
leading.
far.
Almost all of his rice
is gone.
gone.
The prayer man has struggled because he eat out the vegetable, but all right, let's come down near to the end now, King.
Let's see another progress
Ease up
clip.
now, King. Ease up now, King.
Another progress clip.
Watch it out.
Wow. Breadfruit Man basically done. Breadfruit Man basically done. Scotchy, a quarter of his rice left. And Prayer Man, he's struggling. He's struggling.
You've never ready.
Yeah. So all of his vegetable is gone. It seems most of the meat. But the rice have beat him bad. And Rasta still eating.
Yeah.
Breadfruit Man still eating.
Scotchy right back like him, I think about his future. Yeah, man.
He's cruising.
Breadfruit Man, a easy thing, this man. Breadfruit Man, I go easy, man. All right, scrub down to the end now, King.
So wait. What prayer warrior don't move?
He don't move. Well, Scotch Man,
bus.
because Scotch Man is a holy head. What you?
So wait, George. So they get no beverage?
Yeah, man. I want to know. At the end of this, I saw Breadfruit Man who won. I'm not have to tell the same win because it's obvious. The man drew a red stripe.
A red stripe, not even water. Wow. I need to see how Prayer Warrior ended, Jermaine.
King, scrub a little bit.
Scrub
I could see how the Prayer Man finished. No, man. Him not move from the Satana. Because he mode full and he mode take about 2 hours with 2 way that he mode.
Done, man.
Yeah, so, Breadfruit Man won easily.
And he's smiling like he'd eat a tray.
King, go now, pull up that one and the last one now. Oh, we need to take a break. When we come back, listeners, you'll see them tackling 50 dumplings each.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:33.
Skillset Talent Solutions offers marketing, accounting, business registration, logo creation, tax filing, background checks, and recruiting services. Call them at 876-559-3212. The temperature by Skillset Talent Solutions is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Whether you buy it, build it, or improve it, it's time to home it with the National Housing Trust. Join us as we follow the journey of one couple and their friends towards a more secure future for their families. Home It is brought to you by the NHT, the key to your home.
Shanice! I blow, she want to blow me up in here. Left hand pressure cooker and gone, but her belly like she don't know session.
Is what happened?
Your left hand, the pressure cooker.
Boy, me drop asleep. It's 3 office we clean last night, and supervisor missing again. Me put on the pressure cooker and just lie down little. Me not even know when my eye close.
You're lucky you have me as living babysitter, messenger when landlord come, and now fire chief.
It works both ways, Ronica. You have space to run your little hairdressing hustle even if it's small, right? And Akeem don't ask if you nothing more than a little extra light and water. Yet still, when you see where I try buy house, it would nice if my living sister-in-law did try help, even if it's a little something towards the deposit.
You know, I'm just a try with the local hairdressing business. And so tell me something. How a taxi man like my brother can't afford to buy a house from NHD?
Excuse you? After it's not just your brother alone buy it. My money in it too. And we're not buying no house from NHD. We're getting the loan from NHD to buy a house that we want and can afford. And I am the co-applicant.
Co-applicant? What that mean?
It mean that 2 people join up for buy the house. So if one person come up short for qualify for the loan, then the other person will make it up.
Well, you know, husband and wife.
You don't have to be a couple to join up, miss. Brother and sister can join up. The NHD ladies say mother and daughter, even friend, can join up sometimes. As long as the 2 of them pay on the NHT, that way you can get up to 15 million.
15 million?
And if it's 3 family members joining, them can get up to 21 million. But you must get all of that, You have to prove that you can pay it back. But 3 better than 1.
Me coulda never tell me. Me coulda never.
Don't bother come with that. And today, Akima tell you to sort out yourself and register as a taxpayer so you can pay NHT.
Never take him serious because him always want to run my life.
Ranika, owning a home is not a overnight rare. You have to know how to plan your future. Let me show you something. 1 year after you start pay NHT as a self-employed, you can apply for a loan. How long you there with we?
Before COVID.
4 years. You could be on your way to being a homeowner.
That not fair. Oh no, should I make me know on that plan for a long time? Then more than listen to Akeem. Unfair. I need a air fryer. Both here use pressure.
Shanice! Genuine a leave.
You going so soon?
Yeah, you know. I have an early move a morning, you know.
Anyway, I'm glad to hear the good news that you is now a genuine NHT contributor.
Really, Shanice?
Oh boy. I just sorry I never start long time. I could have get a... What I call again, Akeem?
You mean the contribution refund towards deposit?
Yeah, that. But like when I just start, I guess start take a little time to build up anything that makes sense. But better late than never.
That's for sure. It really not suit you for lele like certain people we know. Right, Akeem?
This sound like a good time for me to take on myself. Little more.
If you are self-employed, start your home ownership journey by becoming a registered taxpayer, which will include making quarterly contributions to the NHT. Visit nht.gov.jm to find out more. Yes, you can home it with NHT and get the key to your home.
Come, Joy.
All right. So we played for you the Flag City Food Challenge, and it's wildly popular on social media. Nora says she watches them on TikTok live because you hear them talk about top up the screen and all those things. So that YouTube video, the rice one, Germany, we just played, has 150,000 views and counting. This one now is 3 men taking on the 50 dumpling challenge. So 50 dumplings each. Come now, King, show the chef how she wrote the food now. So in the middle is breadfruit man in the blue shirt. The man in the black shirt, too busy winning, is the defending champion. And then I don't know the guy in the pink and white, Ralph Lauren. But that's 50 dumplings each and curry chicken on the plate. Bottle of water, so them tear off the label because they're not getting a free ad. And they're on a beach somewhere in Jamaica. I don't know. Somebody need to tell me which beach this is. All right? So, close up of the food. 50 dumplings each with curry chicken. All right? Good. King, scrub down halfway now. I can see what the progress of the thing are going now. Man, now the pink look like he must struggle already, but go on. It's ridiculous. Oh, odd. All right. So...
But George, the dumplings are big.
Yes!
Some huge dumplings.
Me never eat more than 3 dumplings at any one time in
I don't
my
want
life.
more than 2.
Me never eat more than 3 at any one time. That's a rare thing. Yeah? King, scrub down the middle, man. I can see what I go on. I can see if anybody drop out. All right, pull up now. See? Polo man has struggled. And breadfruit man have gone. Yeah, man. Breadfruit man a lead at this point. Well, no. Hold on.
It does look like he's leading.
But there's a pile. So he piled up the chicken. He piled up the chicken and him have... Yeah, man, him a lead.
Yeah, because half of his tray.
Yeah, we can see more space on his tray than anybody else. All right. All right, scrub a little bit now, King. Go about 15 minutes. Go about 15 minutes, King. Go about 15 minutes. All right, but what's what I go on now? Yeah, man, breadfruit man, I lead by far. Polo man, look like
you give up. Him give up, man.
All right, go on again, though.
Why not look like the move?
Yeah, that man say.
Like
King, scrub further, man. Scrub further. You realize that breadfruit man now paid Polo man no mind. He might look on the man to him right, you know, because that's the man, the danger it look like. King, scrub down some more, man. Got about 25 minutes. All right, 18. Go a little further, though.
He stopped.
Polo man, stop.
He has stopped.
Go on, man. King, scrub down to the end, no? King, scrub down to the end.
He's considering his choices.
Alright, okay, so I'll go on this now.
The Titan.
Alright. Oh God. Alright.
No.
One
no,
take off his knapsack.
Oh no.
He want to lay down some man burden. And a stretch now. Pull him on a stretch. Pull him on a stretch. Alright. Breadfruit man, a white piece of dumpling in a grave, you know. So apparently, Katana,
Yes.
after this clash, Breadfruit man and the Rasta, they clashed again. So the Rasta's coach was heard in the background saying, him and Rasta develop a new style. So that was a previous when man Breadfruit man clash, him cut the dumpling in a 4. He said, well, a new style, him cut the dumpling in a 2.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Jermaine says Rastaman shirt has too busy winning written on it.
King, come down to the end of my want to see who win. Oh,
No.
they didn't have that part on it?
No man, you have to scrub it.
All the way to the
Gone
end,
back.
King, because see who win, man. As close as you can to the end. That's it.
Oh.
The video never finish. Oh boy, somebody said me about one with 5 gallon worth of porridge.
Oh my god.
But it was 2 bread. Anyway, birthday time though, King. Birthday time.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:45.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Grateful, 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 grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful.
Oh, yes.
Grateful, 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 grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful.
How could I not be grateful? How could I not give thanks? How could I not appreciate all these blessings I have? How could I be so selfish? How could I complain? How could I turn a blind eye to the sunshine and the rain? Oh, Jah provide the bread. Contentment is the bed upon which I lay my head at night. Yeah, I've got food up on the table. I've got clothes on my back, so I know everything's alright. Yes, I'm so grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful, grateful. I'm so grateful.
Comments are killing me now. SH says, well, George have me stop a street to see what all the laugh for peas soup. Somebody says it's 7 Miles Beach. It was a 7 Miles Beach. Well, it is the 7 Miles Beach in Negril that the Flag City folks have recorded the video And it would reason that the evidence bears it out because there are always what looks like tourists walking in the background, constant stream of white people in the background when they do the videos. So yeah, boy, me no hungry again.
Look on them train and your belly full. That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday. Happy birthday greetings going out to our friends on Facebook. Faye Brown, Heather Harriet, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Ruth McDonald, Debbie Ann Johnson, Juliana Atkins, Nina Greenwood. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to BJ Arsenal Gunners here on Facebook. Happy birthday to you, BJ. Wishing for you a wonderful day. Belated happy birthday greetings going out to Veronica Brown and Evan Gauntlet, who celebrated their special day on Friday, April 11. So happy birthday to both of you. Love and blessings from Rika team members. Who else is in the B-Day, on the B-Day list? Going on over to the YouTube chat. Who over here is celebrating a birthday today or an anniversary? Do let us know.
Yeah, I've got food up on the table. I've got clothes on my back, so I know everything's alright. Yes, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Yes, not only when we're grateful, but yes, I'm always grateful. Give thanks. Grateful, I'm always grateful. So grateful. Do I destroy my enemies when I made them my friends? Loose lips talk of mischief, some live in false pretense. Look at what we do for them, see what a thanks we get. But a good man is never honored.
Yvette Baker here on YouTube, or YouTuber Yvette Baker, saying today is her birthday. Yvette says happy birthday to me, all of 70 years old. So happy birthday to you, Yvette Baker, in the YouTube chat. Wishing for you an amazing day. And Marjorie in the US is wishing her son Ashmeal, who is away at college upstate, a happy birthday. She says last teen year. And it's also coming from Ashmeal's dad and sister. So happy birthday to you, Ashmeal, from your mom, Marjorie, your dad, and your sister. Who else is on the birthday list? Not seeing any other. Oh, here comes Donna Smith sending happy birthday greetings to her sister, Winsome Barnes, in Happygate District, Woodford, St. Andrew. Blessings always, little sis. So happy birthday to you, Winsome Barnes. From your big sister, Donna Smith. And Terry Ann Reed sending belated birthday greetings to, she says, our girl Monique. Happy birthday or belated birthday greetings to you, Monique, from the I3s. Terry Ann Reed is saying, love you, girl. Vita Powell sending birthday greetings to Hugh Francos, coming from your mom, your sisters, your brothers. They're wishing for you a great day and God's blessings. Miranda Johnson sending happy birthday to daughter Michaela Schloss. Happy birthday to you, Michaela, from your mommy, Miranda Johnson, here in the YouTube chat, wishing for you a great day. Pat sending happy birthday to Miss Hayo and Carrion Manhertz there in New York. Happy birthday to both of them, Hayo and Carrion, from Pat, wishing for you a good one. I see other peeps in the YouTube chat sending happy birthday to Yvette Baker as well, who turns 70 years old today. Mystical Vibration sending belated 99th birthday greetings to Dr. Mavis Gilmore, former medical doctor and Jamaica's first Minister of Education. Belated birthday greetings to you, Dr. Gilmore, wishing for you, rather, I hope you had a good one. Any other birthdays? Anybody else celebrating a birthday today? Anybody celebrating an anniversary? Is it your birthday? Is it your anniversary? Charmaine Walker sending happy birthday as well to Yvette Baker.
So grateful. Your best days are ahead, son. Mom would say, just prepare yourself. But never do compare yourself to anyone. She said, comparison will steal your joy. The wicked have a plan to kill and destroy, so just be careful, but never be fearful. Oh, it's all about perspective.
Arlene Rose sending belated happy birthday blessings to Daniel Beadle, a daughter from another mother, she says. Daniel there in Brooklyn, New York, whose birthday was yesterday. So belated birthday greetings to you, Daniel Beadle, from Arlene Rowe, as well as your mom, Jackie, Cher, and the rest of your family and friends. Hope you had a good one. So if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
Close up on my back, so I know everything's alright. Say it with me, I'm so grateful.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
It was 1972, my mom and papa brought me through. Back then I was the favorite, so they say. Even though he was way before his time, I knew every Nesta Marley line. You know that Peter Tosh was fly, them diamond socks and corduroy. Fast forward to 1981, my dad moved on and so did I. Inside I kept his songs alive, so they say. I'm a lone soul, living in the body of a 9-year-old. Guess I've been here before. I'm an old soul, tribute to the ones who made it all possible. Inside me a legacy lives on. It's now 1991. This was the year after graduation. Shabba Ranks was on the radio.
Nally Love sending belated birthday to Martin Linton. Hey to you, Martin Linton. Belated birthday greetings to you from Nally Love.
Marvin Gaye stole her heart away, and I had to learn the harder way. She'll always be a part of me. It's until I met that Mary Jane. Old legends reincarnate. I'm an old soul, living in the body of a 12-year-old. Guess I've been here before. I'm an old soul, tribute to the ones who made it all possible. Inside me, a legacy lives on.
And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. And Minto sending happy birthday greetings to Mr. Clark from Marywood. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Clark, there in Marywood. Birthday greetings coming from N Minto and the family. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCray Smith, our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgie Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Inside me, a legacy lives on.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Talking about transportation, transporting the past, the present, and the future generation. Whether taxi, private vehicle, or bike,